Okay everybody, what is going on? It's Voodoo-5-1292 and welcome to episode 5 of Voodoo's Thoughts. Today in this episode I'm going to talk about something that is probably going to raise a few burrs on some people, make some people upset, and that's not something I really care about. I'm not going to hold back on what I say because people are going to get upset about it, but I feel this needs to be said, and what I'm going to be talking about today is this game here, or not necessarily this game in particular, Black Ops, but the franchise of Call of Duty, and I'm going to talk about a few things. I'm going to talk about what it has become over the past years, the behemoth that it's become as a franchise. I'm going to talk about a few reasons of why I think it might have become as big as it is, and then I'm going to give you reasons why it should not be anywhere near as big as it is today. And this is something that nobody really talks about because everybody talks about why it should be the greatest thing ever, or they simply just ignore it. But I'm choosing to speak out and tell you my thoughts on the Call of Duty series. So we got to get a couple things out the way first. First of all, you might be saying, well, if you're making a video talking about why Call of Duty is not the best thing ever, why are you holding 2 copies of the game, one for each system? Well, let me explain. This copy for the PlayStation 3 I bought early in the year, or maybe late last year. I checked the game out, I liked the multiplayer, so I bought this for PlayStation 3, and I played it on my PS3 for a while. I played the campaign with this version, I played the multiplayer all the way until like 4th or 5th Prestige, and then I got my Xbox 360 in May, okay? And there's a few reasons why I got this version of the game. One, I really wanted to test out Xbox Live, see what it was over PSN, and I figured a good way to do that was to buy this game so that I could do a direct comparison over the 2 networks, alright? Second of all, I have a friend, who at the time was heavily into Black Ops on Xbox 360. I hadn't really, got a chance to play with him because I only had a PS3, so I wanted to play with him. And also, well, another reason are, this version gets all the DLC map packs like a month early for the 360, and in fact today is actually the release day of the Annihilation map pack. I actually played a set earlier and have uploaded those videos. And finally, the biggest reason was this was bundled with my console. I got a 250 gigabyte Xbox 360 S model bundled with Black Ops, so that's the reason I'm holding both copies, okay? So for now, I'm going to go ahead and put the PS3 version down and just use the 360 version as like a prop. But anyway, another thing I have to say, okay, this game, Black Ops, is my only first-hand experience with the Call of Duty franchise. I was not into it with Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare 1. I was not into it, believe it or not, with Modern Warfare 2. I neither at World at War, but nobody even thinks about World at War anymore. So the stuff I'm going to be talking about from all of those games previous to this is going to be things I know from talking to my friends and all who were heavily into Modern Warfare 1 and Modern Warfare 2, and have told me all of the things that were going on with that game, and also just some things that I know from looking things up on the internet, and again listening and reading to people who had experienced it. Everything I'm going to talk about for Black Ops, that's all first-hand experience because I've played this game a lot, like I said, and that's all first-hand knowledge. But anyway, so what prompted me to do this? Well, a lot of things. This franchise right now, Call of Duty, it's got to be the biggest video game franchise anywhere right now. Maybe even of all time. Well, not of all time because you still got Mario and everything, but I mean, as far as FPSs are concerned, Call of Duty has got to be the biggest one ever as far as a franchise, okay? Selling the most copies and being the most publicized. And, when you go anywhere today, internet or anything like that, when you go on shacknews.com, which is the website I use for my gaming news, they've got lists, most anticipated games, top games overall, whether they're out or not out yet. And under most anticipated, guess what's number 1? Modern Warfare 3. On best games overall, this game, Black Ops, and Modern Warfare 3 are both in the top 10. And under most rented, Black Ops is in the top 10. So it's always there. A big reason. I'm just going to lean on my door here because my feet hurt from work. But a big thing that got me was on the release day, May 17th of LA Noire, I had it pre-ordered, so I went over to GameStop to pick up my copy, and they had just announced either the night before or 2 nights before the official release for Modern Warfare 3, which was November the 8th, or something like that. It's like the 8th or the 9th. And I got there literally like 2 days later. They already had about 3 Modern Warfare 3 posters in the windows. I got inside, I picked up my copy of LA Noire, and the guy goes, "Do you want to pre-order anything like they always say?" And I said, "No thanks." And he said, "Are you sure? Because you can pre-order Modern Warfare 3 now, and we have a special poster for it." And I felt like saying, you know, I'm here to pick up LA Noire to play a game now that's actually revolutionary in what it's trying to do and actually extremely unique in what it's trying to do. I don't want to pre-order another Call of Duty and drop $60 to get a poster that I'm not going to do anything with. So in my head, I felt like saying, fuck off, I'm here to get LA Noire, but of course I didn't say that. I said no thanks, but that really bothered me that, you know, a day or two after the official release, GameStop was already, you know, throwing up the banners and pushing the game out when it wasn't even due out for another 6 months. So anyway, that bothers me. The fact that every single person in the world plays this game, whether that's hardcore gamers like myself, whether that's medium gamers who only play a few games, or whether or not it's people who don't play games at all, they still for some reason play Call of Duty. And a perfect example of that would be my brother. The only game he likes pretty much is Madden. That's all he actually bought a PlayStation 3 just so he could keep up with the Maddens. But I talked to him, you know, this year obviously, and he had Black Ops. Now, I'm interested, I should have done this, but I never really asked, why did he want Black Ops? Because that probably would have been great material to use here. Why did he want it? I can imagine what it is. Well, everybody's talking about it. Everybody says how good it is, blah, blah, blah. Another example, I was at the midnight release for Portal 2. Also happening to be releasing that night was Mortal Kombat, and I was talking to a guy there who was there for Mortal Kombat, and I was talking about, yeah, you know, what else do you play? And he says, well, really nothing. Nothing much else but fighting games. Oh, but I do play Call of Duty, which I said, wow, big surprise. So, and of course, they actually made a Black Ops Edition real-life automobile. That's right, they had the Jeep Black Ops Edition in real life for sale when this game was released last year, which was a total outrage, and it's embarrassing to have a Black Ops themed Jeep. But so yeah, the game obviously is huge, and it all kind of stemmed from Modern Warfare 1 when, you know, the multiplayer started being huge. But honestly, when I started really hearing about this game and everybody in the world talking about it, was Modern Warfare 2. Everybody at school would talk about it. Everybody, anywhere I went, would talk about Modern Warfare 2. Back then, it was what Facebook is now. You can't go anywhere, not even out your house, without hearing about Modern Warfare 2 back then. And it drove me insane. And that's why I never picked it up, because I was just so aggravated with everybody talking about it that I just didn't want to be another one of those drones and pick up the game, so I never did. But why do I think this game has become so huge, and why do I think that everybody and their mom is playing this game, even people who, you know, don't play games? Well, for one reason, okay, and I'm going to talk just about Black Ops, again, because I didn't play Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare 1, but this particular game is freaking easy as shit, man. Like, the campaign, I mean, is a breeze. You can walk through the whole thing. You can run through levels and knife all the enemies if you so choose. You want to know why it's easy? Because they have auto-aim and auto-aim headshots. And the enemies are weak as hell. And they're stupid. The AI is stupid in the campaign. The campaign is short. So what happens is people buy this game, people who never play FPSs or anything else, can buy a copy of Black Ops and run through the campaign without too much of a problem, and all of a sudden they think they're great at video games and FPSs. What they don't understand is that other FPSs that are out there are not like this. It's not you don't have that auto aim. You can't run through the level and knife everyone if you so choose. It doesn't work that way. A perfect example, and I'll be right back, is this game right here that I just got replaying. Okay, which is Duke Nukem Forever. And I know maybe it's not a good comparison because this game is more of a 90s shooter, but this game is freaking hard. If you have somebody who doesn't play FPSs and they run through this game and they think they're great and then they sit down and play this game, they'll never beat this game because it's going to be way too hard. It was way hard for me, and I play FPSs all the time because I love FPSs, but, oh, excuse me, gassy, but, yeah, so, you know, now, again, maybe this isn't a fair comparison because this is a 90s style shooter with bosses and it's freaking hard. So let me use another example that came out this year. Look at a game like Killzone 3. Now that game was moderately difficult. It was way more difficult than this because there wasn't the auto aim. There wasn't, you know, you had to actually make good use of cover. You had to make good use of weapons. In Killzone 3 you were overloaded with enemies. There wasn't many of you to fight them. And you had to systematically run through and take out the enemies with not a whole lot of protection because you die pretty quick in the game, and you have to, you know, be decent at FPSs to beat that game. This game is not so. So that's why I think this game is caught on big, because people who never play FPSs can play through the campaign of this game and think they're amazing. Now the other reason, obviously, would be the multiplayer. And, you know, let me put it to you this way, okay? The multiplayer of this game, let's say Black Ops, the skeleton of the multiplayer, the structure of the multiplayer may in fact be one of the best, if not the best. When you consider how customizable it is, all the guns you can have, you can customize it with camo, with your emblem, you can customize sights on it, you can customize a silencer, you can add things like a master key or, you know, other attachments to it. You can have different perks that you can use, you have different contracts you can buy to get experience points, you can keep prestiging and keep playing over and over. Yeah, the structure of the multiplayer is great, okay? Is this game fun online? Most of the time, yes. Is the game addictive online? Absolutely. Here's the problem specifically with this game, okay? Again, notice I said the skeleton, the structure of the multiplayer is great. Problem is, when you get down to the meat of this multiplayer, it's freaking broken, okay? And if you've played enough Call of Duty, you know, whether or not you're a fanboy and you go out there and tell everybody this is the best game ever, and the multiplayer, you know deep down in your gut that this multiplayer has serious problems, okay? So, you know, so some quotes, you know, it says, ludicrously deep multiplayer experience from GamePro, and here's the one that gets me, okay? We weren't just impressed with Black Ops, we were blown away, and this is from OXM, I don't know what that is, but that is their quote, we were blown away, alright? And I'm going to address a couple of things. Let's talk about the multiplayer first. You have to understand that when that quote, or all the reviews were all written for this game, it was based on gameplay that was most likely pre-retail release of this game, or right at retail release when nobody had figured out how to cheat and abuse this multiplayer, okay? So, the experience that they had then is going to be way different than if they put this version in their 360 right now and play it. If they played it right now, you know what some of the quotes on the back would say? And here we go with some of the reasons this game has problems online. It might read something like this. You know, yeah, it's fun and addictive, but man, I'm really tired of seeing a person round the corner, me unloading my whole clip into them, but them somehow being able to turn around, shoot me a couple times, and I die. That's because the game is ridiculously laggy. It doesn't matter if it's on PSN, it doesn't matter if it's on Xbox Live. The servers for Black Ops suck. They are laggy, and they constantly shut down servers. Or lobbies. They completely shut down games mid-game. They're Matchmaking is horrible. Their host system is horrible. They let people host games with terrible internet connections. Then when they drop, instead of migrating the host, a bunch of times they'll just end the game and close the whole lobby, and you don't get credit for any of the match. It's terrible, okay? Another quote. Man, I sure am tired of running up and shooting somebody and killing them only to, 10 seconds later have the same guy I just killed run up and shoot me and get a free kill shooting me in the back because the game decided they were going to spawn directly behind me and get a free kill. It happens all the time in this game. You kill people, they spawn directly behind you and get a free kill. It's stupid. It might also read, man, I'm tired of running headfirst into a guy, start shooting him, all of a sudden he lays prone on the ground, all of a sudden he's invincible, and he's super powered, and he shoots and kills me immediately. Because guess what? When people go prone in this game, they're freaking invincible. I've had people lay prone and shoot them with multiple headshots. They survive and kill me. And that's how people are abusing the multiplayer now, is they will run around. Either they'll stay still and lay prone on the ground and camp, or they'll run around and when they come up to somebody, they'll lay prone and start shooting you, and there's hardly anything you can do about it. And that happens all the time in this game as well. So those might be some of the quotes that you'd find today, okay? And bottom line is, people abuse this multiplayer like no one's business. It only takes a week or two for people to figure out how to abuse it, and then it's abused. And there's balancing issues in the game. I mean, the gun that you get, I believe it's at like rank 14 or something like that, the FAMAS, is ridiculously overpowered. It's extremely accurate, it's a high rate of fire, and very damaging. So you get this gun at rank 14, and these quote-unquote really good players will sit there and use the FAMAS non-stop and own you. Especially, I've always found this, that if somebody's running around with a golden FAMAS, you're not going to kill that person if you run into them. FAMAS always wins, and if it's golden, it means that they're high enough rank that they've learned how to abuse that FAMAS, and they're going to kill you every time. It doesn't matter what you do, golden FAMAS wins. And it also seems almost, and this doesn't make any sense, but that people with the higher prestiges in this game, for some reason, get some sort of advantage or benefit. It seems like every time you run into these people, you're on the opposite end of the lag or the BS or whatever happens. When you run up to them, start unloading into them, they don't die and they're able to kill you. It seems like they have an unfair advantage all the time on the servers for whatever reason. Okay, here is how people play this game, okay, online. All of these people that, like I said, are quote-unquote good players, okay, and all these people who have these videos on YouTube about, look 30-0, blah, 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 I'm so good, join my clan. You know what these people do in the games, and all you gotta do is play a match or two, is that these people simply camp. It's what they do. If you look at any, I believe the prestige cap is 15. 15th prestige player, which is like the skull with the green beret and the swords as their emblem. All of those players, all that they do is sit in corners the whole match or sit in windows with their golden FAMAS or whatever they have, and they sit there and camp and don't move the entire round and go, I don't know, they pile on the kill streaks, okay? They'll sit there and they'll get, napalm strike, a freaking chopper gunner, and dogs simply from camping there and going 11-0. Then they'll unleash these kill streaks on you, and they'll end the game going like 40-1 or something absolutely ridiculous like that. And people are like, oh my god, these players are great. The players themselves are like, oh my god, I'm great. And they have all these points and they've got all this prestige levels because all they do is sit there and camp and don't play the game. I'm sorry, I don't play that way, okay? I actually run around the map actively seeking people out, and you know what? I run around, I don't have the best KDs ever, but it doesn't matter to me because I'm having fun. I'm not sitting there like some pussy bitch who's scared to run out there because, oh no, he might get killed and his precious 7.0 KD might get. Who cares? Nobody's really impressed, or nobody should be impressed by that. And how is that any fun? But these players, that's what they do, and people think they're great, and they themselves think they're great, but they don't actually do anything. They just abuse the system. They camp and kill boost until they get all of these kill streaks that they unleash and rack up the kills and rack up their KD, and all of a sudden they're the greatest player ever. And it's really annoying, okay? So, again, as far as this multiplayer is concerned, why it's so popular, it's fun, it is addicting, but they don't put any time or effort really into the meat of the multiplayer to make it good. Their servers are awful, they have problems with respawns that have never been fixed, they've got balancing issues with their guns, okay, and people just abuse their system to no end, and they refuse to do anything. You know, I've said very few good things about Crysis 2, but at least one good thing Crysis 2 did on their multiplayer was try to reduce camping by you can't get kill streaks unless you actually run over the person's dead body. It has its pros and cons. I understand it may not be the best system, but that's a good way to fix campers, because guess what? If you're in that game and you're sitting there camping in the corner, killing everybody on a distance and don't move, you're never going to get any kill streaks because you need to run over their body and collect their dog tag. So somebody can sit there and camp, but they're not going to get the kill streaks for it, and it really gives them not a big incentive to camp because they can't kill boost and get these kill streaks. At least they made an attempt. This game could care less. They like people abusing their system, and you know, it's unacceptable for players like me and a lot of other normal players who like to just play the game and not sit in a corner the whole round. But they don't care. So yeah, as far as we were just impressed, we were blown away. Let's talk about the game in general, the campaign, okay? What does this game... Oh, and by the way, just to say, I know Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer was just severely broken as well because they had the freaking tactical nuke, which was 25 kill streak, you got a tactical nuke, and the round was instantly over, you instantly won. So everybody would just kill boost on that game to get the to get the tactical nuke. So that was even more broken than this game. But anyway, what does this series of games do that is revolutionary, that is unique, that is, you know, spectacular, that these people were blown away? And I know that if I were to sit down with whoever wrote this quote from OXM and ask him to his face, compared to other games, other IPs that come out, what is it about this game that blows you away and puts it so far over these other games, he wouldn't be able to give me a straight answer because there is no straight answer. There's nothing revolutionary about this game. It's a war game, okay? And I just threw it on the floor because that's how aggravated I was. No, it slipped. But it's not, the setting is not unique, okay? The gameplay is not revolutionary. The guns are very standard. There's nothing interesting. There's no kind of real deep plot. Maybe in Black Ops campaign you could say that, okay, there was somewhat of a plot to it, but it's not like really an ongoing running plot in the series. Maybe, like I said, Modern Warfare 2, or Modern Warfare, that series does have a running plot, I'm not sure, but it's really nothing unique and special. And when you talk about there's so many other IPs out there that are more inventive, more creative than this game, I'm just going to read some that I see down here. Assassin's Creed, more inventive than this. Dead Space, absolutely. BioShock, a direct comparison. FPS, better than this. Red Dead Redemption, Portal 2, LA Noire, Fallout, even Resistance with the backstory it has. They're all more unique than this game. This game's graphics aren't out of the water. They're actually not very good in comparison with other FPSs. There's nothing unique and special about this game. Bottom line is, I want to wrap this up so that I can make this in one video, okay? People need to chill out with Call of Duty. It is not the best thing ever. Yes, it's coming out in November. If you have $60 to spend and you're going to buy one game in November, don't want to be Modern Warfare 3. There's Uncharted 3 and Elder Scrolls 5 coming out in November. Get one of those games, okay? Get something unique, get something interesting. Don't freaking get another Call of Duty that they're just pumping out year after year now just to take advantage of everybody because they're all going to run out and buy it no matter what. I'm actually not buying Modern Warfare 3 when it comes out. I'm only buying 3 games myself this year. That is Resistance 3, Uncharted 3, and Elder Scrolls 5. All better than this game. I'm interested, obviously, in Modern Warfare 3, but it's pretty low on my list as far as expectations for the end of the year when there's so many other good games coming out. Chill out. It's not the best game ever. Open your eyes, play other FPSs, and stop being a freaking fanboy. The game is fun and entertaining to an extent, but it's not that great. It's not. It's above average, but it's not above all of these other IPs that are creative, inventive with what they do. They take risks. This game doesn't take any risks. This game, you know what you're going to get. It's a freaking war game. You run around and shoot everyone. That's it. There's no puzzles. There's really nothing to bend your mind. There's nothing to make you use your mind with this game or have a whole lot of skill, at least in the campaign and FPSs. Multiplayer, you do have to have some skill, or you can just do what the majority of people are doing and abuse the system. So that's what I have to say about Call of Duty. I know it's going to raise some burrs and stuff, but I don't care. But I would encourage you to comment on this video if you're an intelligent person and you're not just going to spam this video with your fanboy bullshit, because I don't care about that. I want intelligent responses to what you think about what I said. Because those might actually be interesting to read instead of, you don't know what you're talking about, Call of Duty is the best thing ever, and you're stupid, and you suck, and blah, blah, blah. I don't want that on that. Just leave me intelligent responses if you want. That's what I feel. If you have money to spend and it's only on one thing, buy something else, because Modern Warfare 3 isn't going to be different than any other Call of Duty. It's going to be the same thing, and I swear to you, if there's another real-life automobile Modern Warfare 3 edition, I'm going to go to the CEO of that company, whoever said that was okay, and punch him right in his face, because that's ridiculous and it's stupid to have to whore out the name so badly that you have to put it on a Jeep to sell it. That's pretty freaking sad. And GameStop, I don't want to see any more of your posters until we get way closer to release date. There's so many other games coming out before Modern Warfare 3 that you should be paying attention to. Stop pushing Modern Warfare 3 on me already 6 months before it comes out. So that's it. I'm Voodoo-5-1292. I thought this had to be said. I hope you found it entertaining and an interesting perspective on the whole series. And again, if you have intelligent comments you'd like to leave me, please do. I would love to read them and see what people's intelligent thoughts are about how Call of Duty has become what it is today and if it should be what it is today. So, alright. I'm Voodoo-5-1292. I'm out. Thanks for watching Voodoo's Thoughts, and be sure to catch all the episodes in the future.